Hello, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since I've worked on anything. Back out in the shop. We had cold weather like everybody else did. We had snow like a lot of people did. We actually got a little bit more than we're used to. We got a foot of snow all in one shot. So yeah, we didn't have to dig out really, but anyway, I didn't do much out here in the shop. It's cold. I still don't have heat, even though I have a heater in the next room, but it's not working right. So we're not I'm not hanging that up if it's not working. So you can see right here on the calendar, or on the clock, it is Saturday, January 27th, 10 to 4. Ooh, gotta hurry up and get something done. All right, let's get moving. So I left this here in for I guess we'll call it warranty work. Let's get around to this side, and I'm going to give you 3 guesses what the problem is. No, not the PTO. No, the engine didn't lock up. Oh yeah, it's the exhaust manifold. You got it. So after I thought I was done, this looked nice and sealed up. Right there. It's not nice and sealed up, as evidenced by the black soot on the inside of the hood, on the valve cover back there, all the black right here. You have to get that super flat. I didn't want to take the manifold off and replace those gaskets and deal with all that. So like I said, or like you saw in the videos, we left it on there. I used a grinder and a file, and I got it pretty flat. But there's a dip here, there's a dip here, and it's not sitting flat. And obviously there must be a dip on the back side because the soot's on that valve cover there. So we're going to take the muffler off, take the cone back off, and I'm going to try one more idea on how to get that to seal up without having to spend $300 or $400 for a new manifold and a cone. So, but oh, first we got to unload the truck because I got something for the Belvedere. Let's go take a look. Oh, there we go. Oh, the wind's starting to blow. You can hear it up in the trees, way up there. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, it's getting warm. Tomorrow's supposed to be Sunday the 28th. It's supposed to be close to 60 degrees tomorrow. My daughter's huge snowball, that white thing there, I think that's the only snow we have left on our property. There's still some snow in the ditches, but we have a bet amongst the 3 of us in the family that snowball makes it till Monday, or that's my daughter's guess, Monday. So what'd we get for the Plymouth? Tires, yes. Rims, absolutely. Oh, let's get that unloaded. Lay down. So it's kind of hazy, but that's just dew or moisture. There, it cleans up and gets shiny. So I got a pair of weld drag lights for the back of the car. I got it off one of the pages on Facebook. The guy's local, it turned out. So we got a couple of rims. We got the center caps. And some lug nuts that are way too big. These are 1/2-inch open-end lug nuts, and my studs are, I believe, 7/16. So they won't be any good unless I put 1/2-inch studs in. And if I want to go drag racing with those weld wheels on that car, I have to put longer studs on. If you're not into drag racing, that's one of the things that the tech guys will look at, is if your studs are long enough. If I ran steel wheels on this, wouldn't be an issue because the studs would be long enough. So we'll put them in the back of Cheyenne right now. If we get them back here, they will dry out. So I'm gonna go get those wheels, put them in here, and we'll get back to the tractor. Huh. Guess I could take the whole hood off, but that was a pain last time. So since I got this hood hinge working on both sides, let's take advantage of it. I think that's loose enough. That's loose enough. Let's pull that off. Maybe. Okay, maybe not. It's still a little tight. Bang, bang, bang. Making plenty of noise. Well, I don't know about you guys, but this year's been a little, this winter season's been a little rough on us. Not so much for me, but for our daughter. She was a freshman this year, and she's hoping to wrestle. She started wrestling in 7th grade, really. She did good. She won her weight class for the county or city championship, however you call that. Then last year, her 8th grade year, she was sick. Her and a teammate, a 7th grader, at this point my daughter's an 8th grader, her teammate, the 7th grader, beat my daughter in one of the earlier matches, like one of the first matches of the season. The end of the season, they wrestled again. My daughter beat her. So that tied them up. So now that's the weekend before the championship matches for middle school kids. So after that match, our daughter got sick with a cold. And it knocked her out, and we're doing everything we could to get her to rest and get fluids and sleep and be ready, because I can't remember now if it was a Monday, Tuesday, something like that was the tournament. Well, she was good enough to go and wrestle. She finished 3rd. She would have got to wrestle for 1st place, but she had to wrestle her teammate. Her and her teammate had to wrestle for the championship match, and I think our daughter was just exhausted, so that didn't work out very well for her, but she got 3rd. So this year we're ready for it, high school, ready to go. And her 7th grade year, a girl landed on her during wrestling, and our daughter brought her down, but the girl landed on her as they were both going down, and that messed our daughter's hip up. Well, 2 years later, fast forward to this summer, she's having hip problems, and she's trying to do cross country. It didn't work, so she goes to she ends up not doing cross country. That was just during the summer to practice. That didn't work out, so she didn't do cross country this year, because because her hip would hurt constantly. I mean, waking up in the middle of the night in pain. So didn't do that. Wrestling gets here. She's excited. She starts going to the practices. I have this feeling she could let her all 4 years. Oops. Well, you're not looking at me. There we go. I think she could let her all 4 years. She has that chance. But that thing in her hip came back. Well, that's not coming off easy. So we thought some rest, that would do it. She was going to all the practices, doing modified stretches and workouts, and see a doctor finally, get x-rays. Nothing really shows up, so has an MRI done. Something shows up, and now we have to go down to Children's Hospital in Seattle. And the waiting line for that is long, the list. So, let's see. So she's dropped out of wrestling now, turned her gear in. I mean, this is late January. Which, we're all hoping that she'd be able to, hope that she'd be able to, do some physical therapy and be able to wrestle, which did not work out, unfortunately. So our appointment's for like April to be seen. We don't know exactly what's going on. We don't know if she's going to have a procedure, operation. I mean, we're an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. Yeah, about an hour and a half, 2 hours away from that hospital. I'm guessing, my guess is there's going to be some kind of procedure done. So, out of luck this year. It's been kind of tough that way. But it's not the worst. We know a family that their daughter is a senior in high school this year, and she plays basketball. And one week ago or 2 weeks ago? I can't remember if she did something in her knee. I don't remember if it's a ACL or what it was. So she's done for sports for the rest of her high school career. So for Rand, if you look at it that way, Rand doesn't have it that bad. It's unfortunate she's missing her freshman year. We don't know if she's going to get to do track because of this injury. So anyway, it's not the worst thing that can happen. It's just too bad. I mean, everybody has sports injuries, or a lot of people. It's loose enough, this bolt. It's loose enough, but it's got sticky spots, so it's just tight enough you can't just turn it out. There we go. That's going to come all the way out to get these. Oop, sorry about that. Got to come all the way out to get these out of the way to pull that whole cone out. If you remember, if you do, great. If not, it might be a first time watching. But watch. It's got that heat riser exchanger right there. And I might be in trouble anyway. Oh, here we go. Just got to turn it the right way. Okay, remember, it goes in like this, so the weld's towards us. All right. So yeah, we have soot all the way, almost all the way around, except for by the bolts. It's that little chunk of, right there. It's that little chunk that broke off. And we welded back on at my dad's with his welder. Okay. Gotta find a spot to work. Got the 90-year R project sitting there. The blocks and such. The winch control and solenoids for the gooseneck trailer. don't know what I'm going to do with that. Guy at work says you can get an upgraded solenoids for these things, so I need to look that up. However, this thing's been sitting here since I think last March. This is when I tore this apart, and it's sat there ever since, and I just worked around it. So let's go over here, go into the side room, and I'll show you my plan. Coveralls are nice rags. And this is my plan. This here is header gasket. Exhaust gasket. There you go. Wrote it on there so I would remember what it was. So that's Mr. Gasket, header gasket. And that is ultra copper, high maximum temperature sealer. So we're going to double up. So I'm figuring headers on a car similar to this. They have gaskets made of this stuff. So why can't I put it on here? So we're going to measure that. Yeah, we'll measure that. We'll get that measured. Get a Sharpie. Not sure how we're going to cut that yet. I got scissors. I don't know how well scissors is going to cut this stuff. So let's see what we can get into. I'll put you up here on the 90-year cylinder block. There you go. Can you see? Oh yeah, there you go. That looks like 4.5 inch. So now my oh, here we go. Hey, here we go. Look at that. I could turn that a little tighter. Here's my pattern right there, huh? I was going to look for a lid of some sort. So if I put a little pressure on that, get that out of the way. If I don't squeeze this, it's kind of oblong. So I put a little pressure on it right there. We'll slide that over. Not too much, so we need a little meat. So that is the outside edge. And this is a 1/4 inch. I'm going to call it 5/16. Or let's see, I'm going to do 1/4 inch, and I'll cut outside my line. And that will give me 5/16 gasket to fill the void. Like that. Do that. We're going to turn it again. We're going to go across here, here. So I don't have a lot of time to do this completely. As far as we have a wedding reception to go to in a little bit. So I got to be mindful of the time. Oh boy. Not quite. No, it's not perfectly round, but that is going to be close. I could use one of these pistons, but if I remember right, they're 3 5/8. They're not big enough. I got lucky. I had a hose clamp sitting over there, so that come in handy. All right, we'll try that. All right, I think squeeze it again a little bit, and again we'll mark the inside. Got my fingers on the bench so it my fingers don't slip while I'm drawing. Okay, I'm gonna get a pair of scissors and a knife, and we'll get cutting.